Hey everybody, welcome back. We three bros coming at you. It's Derek and Joseph. What's up, Joseph?
What up, Derek? Back at it, man. Sorry, I wanted to match the enthusiasm.
Right, September, first day of September.
Oh
I can't,
shit, is it?
this
Should
year's
we start
almost
singing
over,
the?
man.
I was like, is that? Should we start singing the Green Day song?
Oh yeah,
Wake me
waking
up.
up on when
Yeah,
September ends.
yeah.
should we should we break out the Halloween decorations already?
Oh no, don't do that. You're not one of those people. Tell me you're not.
Nah, but someone else wants to. We already had to go to like Hobby Lobby and look at decor and all that stuff.
Gotcha,
Yo, they
gotcha.
already got Christmas stuff up there.
No. I went to one place that had Easter stuff. I'm kidding, man. I'm bucking. I'm
I was
fucking with
gonna
you.
say,
You were like, okay, wait a minute. You're like, you draw the line at Easter. All the other days, like every other like holiday is fine, but Easter, you're just like, no.
but I mean, it was still August last weekend when we went on Saturday, and they already have like the Christmas stuff out for sale, like trees up, decorations out. Like,
Wait, are you one of those people that leaves your Christmas tree past New Year's?
no, so maybe like the weekend after New Year's. Like, I don't take it down like New Year's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, it's a hard day to do anything on. So like that, whatever
You're
day
like,
New
I'm too
Year's
drunk
falls
as
on,
shit.
like that following weekend. So
Mm-hmm.
and we don't put it up until usually the day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But like last year, it was the first time we got a real tree, so we put it up. It wasn't until that weekend to like Sunday because
Oh.
we had to go. We had to like you had to make reservations because of everything that's going on to go to the tree farm to cut down the tree. So we couldn't get a
Yeah.
reservation till like Sunday.
This was in New York, right?
Yeah, in upstate New York.
And like, no, with the trees and stuff, like when you dispose of them, do you just throw them on the street, or do you have to actually go
What the hell
somewhere?
did I do? Oh, I just dragged it to our the trash room's like right next to my old apartment, like
Mm-hmm.
right next to our like in the same hallway. So like the next door down is the trash room. So I
Yeah.
just dragged it down the hallway and threw it in the trash room.
You're like, F this holiday.
Came out with the vacuum cleaner, cleaned up all the pine needles so it doesn't look like it came from our apartment.
And ladies and gentlemen, Derek is guilty. He just admitted to breaking policy and throwing the tree.
They didn't say anything.
They came
And
out.
then like when we moved, like the day that the movers came to pick up all our stuff back in March.
Hmm.
So like when I was bringing the last little bit of stuff down to the car that we were bringing with us in the car,
Yeah.
I did like a final walkthrough, make sure nothing was left behind. I was still finding pine needles. I'm like, where are these pine needles still coming from?
Hey man, pine needles are like sand. You go to
For
the
real,
beach, you're gonna
you
find them
never get
literally everywhere. It doesn't matter
right.
where they're at, man.
So yeah, man, it's September. It's year's going by quick.
Do you plan to dress up for Halloween? Do you ever dress up for Halloween?
I
And we're probably
so
gonna get, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are listening, we'll probably talk about this shit again in a few episodes from now. We're
yeah,
gonna be like
you'll
right
hear
next
it.
to
You'll
Halloween,
hear
be
it
like, hey
again.
man, what are you gonna dress up as?
We'll
So,
probably like that week of the episode of Halloween. We'll probably be in costume.
oh
You know.
dude, great idea. Great idea.
So last year at work, they let everyone dress up, and I dressed up as Nathan Drake.
Oh, nice.
So it was a simple costume, though. I mean, I already had a Henley,
Mm-hmm.
some jeans, and some boots. So I just got the old the Middle Eastern scarf type thing, and just
Okay.
tied that around. And I couldn't find like the double gun holsters out. Those are just laying around everywhere,
I mean, if you did show up to work, they'd be like,
especially in New York City.
where are the guns? We need to know, sir. We need to confiscate every single one of them.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't think my current place of work will be like, yeah, dress up and come on in when
Uh,
or when there's like the alphabet of the U.S. government.
I
They're like, what is this clown doing here?
thought this was a costume party. No, no, no,
so
no, no. No costumes allowed.
so probably not for work, but I think it'll be cool, especially like we live in a community where I think there'll be more kids that'll come out and trick or treat.
Oh
So
yeah.
it'd be cool to be dressed up when little kids come to your door and want some free stuff.
Have you ever given out candy before?
I so not as an adult. I did one year when I was a kid because I was sick
Okay.
on Halloween.
Oh
So I
shit.
stayed home, and my dad was. So it's kind of a funny story. So my dad's sitting on the end of the couch, and he
Hmm.
has the bowl of candy next to him on the arm of the couch,
Yeah.
and I'm laying down because I'm sick. So like I can nudge him if I see someone coming to the door because we have the front door open, but the screen door is closed.
Yeah, of course.
So he falls asleep. And so here comes some kids up the steps to come get some candy. So I like kick my dad and it scared him, and he like jumps up and the bowl of candy just flies through the air, candy all over the living room.
Please tell me people saw this.
I'm pretty sure the kids on the front porch saw it.
They're like, we don't care. We want that candy, man. I saw you drop it. Come on.
Right.
Or they start
So
running in there like pinata. Start
yeah,
just fucking scooping up the candy real quick and
start
running
stealing
out.
candy right out of the living room.
There it is, man.
So yeah,
Absolutely.
that's the closest I got to handing out candy. Well, I mean, I take it back. When I worked at Disney, I worked a few nights for Halloween or the Mickey's Halloween, whatever,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I got to hand out candy. And I
Okay.
was given like double fisted handfuls of candy to these little kids. I'm sure their parents hated me because it's already like 7 o'clock at night, and I'm like, "Here, have all this candy." Like a pound of candy per kid.
I was about to say, I was like, how much candy did they buy?
Like when you go to the gas station and they have the thing that looks like a soda can with the ice and all the sodas in it on
Yeah.
wheels. So it's those for the candy,
Oh, nice.
and they have like the
And what happens
Disney
when you?
Halloween decoration on it.
Yeah, like what happens when you run out? They just bring you some more?
You bring you some more.
Oh shit! So it's like
It's like
infinite
it's like
candy.
never ending candy.
Oh shit! That's
But like as
awesome.
the like there's a time where they stop, is it like at
Hmm.
this time because the park closes at this time, so like usually like I think it was like maybe like 45 minutes to a half an hour before the park closes.
Hmm.
Like whatever you have is whatever you have.
Yeah.
So it was getting down towards that time, so I'm just like double fist of like candy to like 6, 7, 8-year-old little kids.
And they're loving it.
Yeah, their parents
See,
were probably like this this
I,
bastard.
and so I did.
I'm leaving my kids here with him tonight.
Again, I got to do the same thing one time for work, man. They let us pass out candy, but they gave us a budget, so we did like. Man, candy's expensive, right? So like they
Yeah.
only give you unless you buy more of yourself, right? Like I used my budget and I bought it, man. And so like I was real like I wasn't just giving out the candy left and right, man. I was just dropping like a piece and stuff, and you could tell every time I would drop like one piece of candy in the bag, the kid would look at me and just be like, "Bro, come on now, come on
Don't
now."
be cheap.
Yeah, and then there were some kids that like I was like about to like grab the candy and they just grab a little handful real quick and put it in their bag and walk out, and I'm all like, "Yo, parents don't teach you any manners? No, not
Right.
at all. They don't even care, man." But that's cool, man. I'm sure will have a lot more stories about Halloween, and I can't wait to kind of talk about some of that stuff. We can talk horror movies and stuff around that
Yeah,
time.
we'll have to that week we'll have to come in costume for this.
Oh yeah, 100%. I hope people would enjoy that. People who are listening, we will dress up, and I will go all out. I will tell you that I did dress up as Elliot from Mr. Robot
ET?
last year.
Oh.
You said
You weren't the
E.T.?
you weren't the little kid?
I wore a red hoodie.
Elliot.
No, no, I did not dress up as ET. Come on, man. I dress up as Roger. I would dress up as Roger
That'd be funny.
from American Dad.
What's when him and Steve play the detectives or whatever, something in Wheels?
Oh, damn, I can't remember, man. It's something in Wheels though. You are right.
Yeah.
I want to say it's like Hot Shot and Wheels
Yeah.
or I don't know. And I think one time like they were trying to figure out like who was the detective and who wasn't the detective, or I guess who would be
Yeah.
in a wheelchair and who wouldn't. And one time they
Yeah.
like Steve showed up in a wheelchair and Roger's like, oh man, it's like maybe we should change. And then like they go back and then they both come back in wheelchairs or something. They're like, no, both of us can't be wheelchair detectives. Only one of us or something. So was it Hot? No, Half Man? No. Damn
I
it,
can't remember.
I can't remember, man. It's
But
something like that.
we'll have to think of some good costumes to wear for that week.
I'm down with that. Let's see. Detective. Oh, I'm trying to see who it is. Sorry, guys. There's oh, Wheels and the Leg Man.
Wheels on the leg man.
Wheels and the Leg Man. That's what it is. Yeah, but they're little. They have like little music and stuff that they kind of played before. Like they all mouth it
Yeah.
and stuff. Maybe we should do the same thing for our podcast. Just hit them with that or something, man. I don't know. Apparently, we're like, what the hell is this music? We play instruments with our mouths or something like that
Right.
and let them get into it or something. But no, man. So, but yeah. Anyways, like I said, we'll have to dress up or something like that. Keep it fun. I'll try to come up with some fun costumes or something, or maybe we should
Yeah.
come up for the costumes for each other. So like, I come up with your costume, you come up with mine. I will not play Carlos Spicy Wiener, so don't even get any ideas. We will not be doing this. As cool as that sounds, we cannot do Carlos Spicy Wiener. I'm
I
sorry.
mean, you can just go get a Astros jersey and a trash can, and you can be Altuve.
All right, on to the next subject. Derek, man, any episodes or shows or movies that you got to watch this past week, man, since our last podcast?
So I watched Malice at the Palace, and I watched the other Untold one, the hockey one.
The hockey. Okay, so Malice of the Palace, man. First, man, what were your thoughts on it?
I thought it was interesting. I thought it was like I guess I never realized that Ron Artest had like like an actual like he had something wrong with him. Like he wasn't
Yeah.
like it wasn't just him. Like
Hmm.
that wasn't just the way he acted. Like he wasn't
Yeah, he
that
was seeing a
person.
therapist, right?
Yeah,
He
he
talked
had
about that
they
multiple times in the
they
episode.
they said that Jermaine O'Neal said that the Ron Artest therapist came with him on on road games and stuff. Like he brought him with him. So like he had a legit like issue.
Hmm.
And that fan that threw that bottle or whatever was he was an idiot.
Yeah.
And I mean, I thought it was interesting how they like tracked out like the whole like when the prosecutor was talking about it, he's like if this happened because of this because of this because of this because of this and it all
Yeah.
started because this dude threw a bottle
Yeah.
or cup whatever it was, so it all like they checked they and it's just true, like if that guy had never thrown that and the way Ron Artest, his head is wired, he wouldn't have gone out into the stands, and none of that
Yeah.
would have happened. It would have been, a blowout ball game, and
Hmm.
everyone would have been, Piston fans would have went home mad, and life would have moved on, and nothing would have been, no one's life would have been affected because of that. But
Yep.
you know, Artest, he did go on and he won a championship with the Lakers. At
Yeah.
he became a different person. When he became Meta World Peace,
Yeah.
and you could definitely see a change between the way he was when he was younger on the Pacers and the way he was when he was on the Lakers.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was, partially the culture, the coach. He wanted a different experience, right? Or like
Yeah,
he wanted a fresh start, right? He
yeah,
wanted a fresh start, kind of turn things around, and rebrand himself almost, right? And
yeah,
I think that he had the ability to do that, right?
yeah,
Um, which is very beneficial for him. But like you said, man, he was going through something, and it was good that they kind of showed that, right? Like he had some,
yeah,
he had some mental health things going on, and that led to all the things that kind of trickled down until eventually led to him going into the stands and stuff. But at the same time, one of the things that I found very fascinating, right, or just something that I like, I can only imagine was like they're like, yeah, we had like hours upon hours upon hours of footage from different angles,
yeah,
and they spent like months just trying to build a case against these people and trying to find these people, right? So
yeah,
which is pretty impressive, right? And I think even the guy, and I think the detective was kind of like, you could tell he was a little annoyed with it, because even he said, he's just like, yeah, it's like I spent all this time over
that
like fighting when I could have
that could have
spent.
been used on like murders and other stuff, more serious
Yeah.
crimes.
And I think it was more so like, I think he said he felt more pressure from like the NBA, who was really pushing to try to find who the culprits were and stuff, and
Yeah,
make sure that it wasn't, of course, like again, you something like that happens and you're the NBA, you're an organization, right? You're also a business, and you don't want negative connotation towards you, right? And that's why
yeah,
they like they changed the dress code whenever they come into games. They have to wear suits now, and
yeah,
they changed a whole different dynamics, right? And I
yeah.
remember Allen Iverson, and I know again, yeah, I know you know who that is, right?
Oh yeah, the
Like
answer.
the answer, man, right? Like I had his shoes, right? And he would come in and like he would dress with these kind of clothes, and he's just like, man, I'm not that. I'm not a thug. I'm not what you guys say I am. This is the way I dress. This is the way I've always grown up
Yeah,
with. And he would get fined sometimes, right? Because he wouldn't
yeah,
comply and wearing the suits and stuff. But it did eventually change a lot of things within the NBA, and I think that was again a catalyst that kind of did that change. But also like, man, come on now. Like, if I had somebody throw some shit at me, I'd be pretty pissed off, right? Like, am I
yeah,
gonna charge at them and try to fight them? I don't know. Like, has that person been cursing at me, yelling at me, booing at me, like the entire time I was like at some kind of area, arena, venue, wherever it is? Like,
yeah,
after a while, man, I'm gonna get fed up, right? And
yeah,
like you said, if I'm already on the edge about a bunch of other stuff, and somebody and like I'm on my own little piece or my own zone or whatever, and I'm laying down on the thing, maybe you shouldn't have did that, right? I think he even said, he's like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have did that, right? But
yeah,
he's like, I was just being young or whatever, right? And then of course the water. cup fell on him, and he was just like he went ballistic, right? Went
Yeah.
to go fighting, right? And then again, I was talking to somebody the other day, and we were discussing on how like they had a real potential to go to the NBA championship, man. Like poor Reggie, he was hoping to he went to the championship the year before, and he was hoping to win one, and then all that stuff happened, and he was like, well, I got to retire, guys. It's been
Yep.
real. Bye. So it sucks that all that stuff happened, but it's just wild to see, because we see it in hockey. We see people fight in hockey, right? And
Yeah.
it's not necessarily normalized there, but it happens occasionally. But
Yeah. If they're also not like fighting fans in the stands either.
no, absolutely, and they're fighting each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was wild to see that just kind of turn out to an all-out brawl, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I've been in situations where I've seen brawls happen, and just kind of been right around them, and just
Yeah.
kind of seeing all that stuff happen, and it just, man, they escalate so quickly, and it's like as soon as they start, man, there's no stopping, and as soon as people see red, it's like, hey, we're
Yeah.
going after, this person or that person, and just kind of get into it, man. But
Yeah.
just the situations that I've seen, and kind of seen whether it was a bar or a party or something, man, like those get pretty hectic pretty quickly, man. And there's nothing you can do. It's either be a part of it or get the hell out of the way.
Yeah.
And that situation, I think almost every single one of those situations, I got the hell out of the way. I was just like,
Right.
well, let me just kind of. I was like, I hope don't punch him. No. Oh shit. Oh, don't stop him out. Oh shit. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna hang out here and just not do anything. So.
Yeah.
Now maybe if my friends were getting beat up or something, then at that point, yeah. But my friends were doing the beating up, and I was just like, I don't want to be here anymore. I need to go
Right.
home. So in that situation, I can only imagine. And like there, you can't go anywhere. You're like the only way you can do it, like you either got some seats in front of you or behind you, or some
Yep.
stairs. So you're gonna get a workout anyways, man. Hope you're
Right.
athletic, cause fuck.
Yeah. So I mean, overall, I thought it was a good episode.
I recommended the Christy Martin one, so when you get a chance to watch that one, man, we can
Yeah.
discuss that. But that one was the first half, right? It's kind of interesting because it's just a typical boxing story, right? Just somebody who's
Yeah.
really good at boxing. That second half just takes a turn. It just
Right.
takes a turn, and you're like, I didn't see that coming. I didn't see it coming, and when it happens, you're just like, what the? So yeah, man, the Christy Martin documentary is pretty good. The hockey one, which one's the hockey one about?
So the the guy with the ties to the mafia buys his son a hockey team in the UHL.
Oh yeah, that was
And his
already
son's
out.
like,
Oh shit, I
yeah,
need to watch that one.
his son's like 17 years old and running a hockey team.
No way.
And they're actually a good hockey team. It's not like
Oh
it was a bunch of scrubs. Like
yeah.
they were actually a good team.
Okay. Yeah, I have to watch it, man. And it was in the NHL team or like a semi-pro
No,
team?
UHL, so like
Oh, you said.
one level below NHL.
Oh, and they were pretty good.
Yeah.
It makes me think of like soccer. There's like certain soccer leagues that if if the worst team, like if the worst team is doing that bad, right? If they lose, like if you're the worst team in the league,
Yeah.
they demote you to the semi-pro team, or to like to like if it was double A and triple A, like if it was the
Yeah.
majors, they would demote you from the majors and send you to the double A, or is it double A or triple A? I forget which one's right below the majors.
Triple A.
It's triple A, right? So they send you to triple A, and then they promote the triple A team to the pro team.
Oh wow. I
So
didn't know that.
yeah, so they do that in some soccer leagues or whatever. So I would love for see them to do that. I know they were talking for many years of, they were like, hey, you know what we should do? We should make the Astros play in the triple league, triple A league, right? So because remember those years they were terrible. So,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh man, that'd be pretty cool to kind of see, like if there was a semi-pro team that if you did that bad, let that semi-pro team get a chance. See if they can kind of change some things out and stuff. But I could see from dynamics from like stadiums where they would play at and stuff how that could get a little dicey, right? So
Plus the fan base and the what do you call it? Like the television rights and everything.
hmm
Like these teams sign multi-billion-dollar contracts with like for like certain like broadcasts to show their games or whatever.
like imagine if the Yankees got demoted and you were watching them play the hot shot Corpus Christi baseball team or something. You just be like,
the
"Huh,
what's that one out there? The Skeeters.
the Skeeters, right? Yeah, so
Yeah.
like they're out there playing the Skeeters or something, and you're just like, yo, what is my boy Aaron Judge out here just fucking swinging on these guys, or like and watching them like play these I don't want to say scrubs. They're really good baseball players. They're fucking way better than I could ever be with all the
Right.
training I would do or whatever. But like, he's out there playing with these guys and just knocking home runs, 500 feet and stuff on these guys, So it'd be weird to see them, like you said, like it's like, okay, cool. Instead of playing at Yankee Stadium, they're gonna start playing, on the corner of, fucking PS 118, or something
Right.
like that. They're gonna go play baseball out there or something, So
Right.
it'd be interesting to see something like that, or see kind of like how that dynamic would work or something. But I,
Yeah.
I think that like um, with that, it would bring some pretty cool dynamics, right? And I think that
Yeah.
would give a lot of exposure to some players that maybe like are under the radar, that could want to go to that next step, and they just maybe need to play against some big league players or something to really elevate them, or maybe it'll even motivate them or something. But again,
Yeah.
I don't know how well it works in some of those English leagues or something, or I don't know if it's English Premier League, but one of the soccer leagues or something. But they do that, and I always thought
Yeah.
that would be an interesting kind of situation for them to do something like that, So. But yeah, no, that's cool. I'll have to check out that documentary. Like I said, watch the Christy Martin. Anything else you got caught up this week with?
Um, not really. That's about it.
So, question, man. Sorry, that's my dog. Did you ever watch any of the Marvel um TV shows on Netflix? I said TV shows. One
Like
of the
Daredevil and Luke Cage and what was
yes,
the other one?
there was Jessica Jones.
Jessica
I
Jones,
believe Iron Fist or something.
Iron Fist, I think. No, I saw like maybe a couple episodes of Daredevil,
hmm Just
but
couldn't
I
get into
never.
it.
Yeah, I don't know. I just couldn't get into it.
So we're speaking of, I am wearing my Luke Cage T-shirt, man. So it's a great series. For like the first 5 or 6 episodes, and then just kind of it just there's a character that dies in it, and and after he dies, it just kind of goes downhill, man. But
And
it's
which one?
in Luke Cage, in
Oh,
Luke
Luke
Cage. So
Cage.
yeah, it's a pretty cool like.
Oh, and the Punisher too.
Oh, and the Punisher too. Yeah, did you
I
watch the
heard the
Punisher?
Punisher was really good. I've never watched it.
Yeah, first season was pretty solid. Second season just couldn't get into it, man. So, um, but it was interesting to see them just kind of like keep going back and forth, but or like keep going back and forth in regards to like how they would like get canceled. It was like, oh, one
Yeah.
get canceled, and then they would just, and then like another one would come out with a new season, and then as soon
Yeah.
as the season like a few weeks after the new season dropped, they'd be like, this is canceled, and they just kept doing that back to back to back, and I was like, all right, that's it, man. This particular show is not going to get canceled. It's canceled. you,
So
you know, so
I wonder if they'll like reboot them like on Disney Plus,
I've
under the
I've heard
MCU.
yeah, I've heard some speculation. I've heard some speculation of them introducing possibly Daredevil, right? So,
Yeah, because they said that like during that new trailer that one lawyer looked like Murdoch, but other people are saying no, he's got a gut. It doesn't look like him.
yeah.
So
Yeah, because I think that there's which one was it? There was one where what story was it? And I think it was probably in the Homecoming trailer or something, where they're like, oh yeah, this character like goes to jail, or it's like has to like needs to defend it or something.
yeah,
And who is the defendant? Defending lawyer? It's Matt Murdock, right?
yeah,
So I would love to see him. And again, like I think he's in Hell's Kitchen. He is in New York City. He's in the
yeah,
backyard of these characters, and
yeah,
and like a lot of people always speculated and wanted some of these characters to be a part of the Marvel universe. So I
yeah,
would like to see Daredevil, man. I think he's a pretty cool character, right? It's kind of he's very about criminal justice, right?
yeah,
So just making sure that um those people like criminal justice in the sense of like making sure that those individuals are like he is not the judge, jury, and executioner, so he doesn't kill people, right?
yeah,
So similar to Batman's code, right? He's just like,
yeah,
it's not up to me, it's up to the political system or the justice system, the criminal justice system, whatever you want to call it. It's up to them to decide their fate, right? So he's
right,
one of those characters like, I'm not going to kill anybody. So again, I think that's a cool dynamic where the Punisher is like, no, they all got to go. Every single
right,
one of them, everybody's dying. Like you did something wrong, dead.
right,
So um, it's a cool dynamic. So I would love to see him in there, and I think Spider Man's kind of another one too, right? Doesn't kill people, right? Or at least maybe monsters that deserve it or don't deserve it. I'm not, I'm not sure, but I think his code or his morals are not
yeah,
to kill, right? There's other
all right,
ways. So, but anyways, the reason I bring that up is because I'm rewatching Daredevil. It's a solid show. I know that it kind of has like the kind of beginning has a slow pace, but the story is really good. the fight choreography is really good. You put him in a hallway, he's whooping ass. I think there was a lot of memes whenever Endgame came out. They were like, or even Infinity Wars, like they're like, oh yeah, like they would show like a hallway. They're like, yeah, they're like, you know who can defeat Thanos, you know Daredevil. Just give him a hallway because a lot of the fight scenes are shot in a hallway.
Yeah.
So and again, they're pretty cool, man. Like, but it's like him, like he's winning and he's kicking ass, but he just needs a hallway, right? So,
Right.
um, but it's a cool show, man. So I really
How
like
many
it.
seasons are there?
I think that one only has 2 seasons,
Oh, okay.
and the person that plays the Kingpin is awesome.
Yeah.
Um, I forgot the guy's name. I don't want to butcher it, but um, he's awesome as a Daredevil and plays a really good. And I also like Charlie Cox, right? Charlie Cox is the guy who plays Daredevil too. So he's really good. I liked his acting. And then the same thing with the Kingpin, right? I said that. I
Yeah.
don't know if I said the Punisher, but I didn't. I meant to say the Kingpin if I said the Punisher earlier. But again, great acting. Those two dynamics are fantastic, and it's always cool to kind of see Kingpin in there, and I would love to see Kingpin in a lot of the other you know um,
Property or
Marvel shows and
Marvel
stuff, right?
shows.
But now that
Yeah.
Disney owns it, man, maybe they'll bring it back. We'll see.
Yeah.
You never know, right? But
I
rewatching
think
it,
I
man.
saw that they're putting the Daredevil movie on Netflix this month
Oh God.
with Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner.
Did you ever watch that one?
Yeah, I watched it. It's corny.
I didn't watch it, man. I think I saw the only scene I saw was there was one where they were like in a playground or something, and they're like on a seesaw, and I guess he's kind of showing her his moves, and they're both kind
Uh-huh.
of like teasing each other's abilities, being able to do backflips and just be very athletic and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're doing a lot of that. But that's the only that's the only scene I saw. But besides that, I've heard it's terrible.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
I think was it Colin
Colin,
Firth.
no, is it Farrell?
Colin
Colin Farrell.
Farrell, yeah, he played. Yeah, Colin Firth is the guy who does King's Speech, but yeah, Colin Farrell was like Bullseye, and he just
Yeah,
wasn't real.
Bullseye.
He wasn't a really good Bullseye or something. I don't
And
know.
wasn't who was it that played Kingpin? Wasn't it Michael Clark Duncan
It was Michael Clark Duncan. Yeah,
that played Kingpin? That's
yeah.
probably the only good thing about it. The
Oh,
movie was
really? Well,
him.
I like
Yeah.
Michael Clark Duncan, man.
Yeah, I like him too.
Him in the Green Mile. I loved him in Armageddon. He was a wild man in Armageddon. Like
Yeah.
that, he was super cool in that. And of course the Ballad of Ricky Bobby, right? As a pitman crew or something, or
Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
So Michael Clark Duncan was always a great either supporting
Yeah.
actor. I don't know if he's ever been in kind of leading roles, and if he was, I didn't watch him, but at least as a supporting actor, man, I liked him. But yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I don't know. I forgot that he was in that movie. So maybe one of these days I'll give it a watch. Maybe I'll force you to watch something that's really bad that you haven't seen, and I'll watch Daredevil, man, or something. So especially it's on Netflix. So,
Right.
which speaking of Netflix, I know I told you, man, Seinfeld is going to be on Netflix now, October 1st. I know it was on Hulu for a
Like
while.
every season?
I believe every season is going to be on Netflix.
That's awesome. I'll
That
definitely
is.
have to watch that. I love Seinfeld.
Uh, do you have a favorite episode or any of them that kind of stand out to you?
Um, Probably not a single favorite. A handful.
Or
I
one
like
that
the
you
one about Mike Piazza spitting on Kramer and Newman. That was pretty good. That's a good one.
That is a good one, yeah. I
When
totally
Kramer and
forgot
Newman,
about that one.
I think a lot of the good ones are when like Kramer and Newman have some stupid idea together. Like those end up
Oh,
being good ones. Like when they found out it's not like they found out, but they made that plan to use Newman's mail truck to carry all them soda bottles to Michigan because it's a 10-cent refund instead of a 5-cent refund. So they calculated like how much weight they could carry and how much money they would spend so they would make money on the trip. That
no,
was a
man.
good
I,
one.
I I don't remember that one. I know one of them I kind of remember, and I don't know why. Is I think Kramer gets like a hot tub or something, and like he forgets to like I think he turns it off because it gets too hot or something, and then like it's New York and he has his window open, and so it gets like way too cold, and he wakes up and he's just like freezing or whatever. There's that episode. The other episode that's a very famous one is the one where they go the longest without um
Oh yeah, the pact.
the
That's a
pack.
good one. And
Yeah.
Kramer's like Kramer lasts like less than a day. He comes in, he's like, I'm out.
Yeah, but it's a funny thing because I think that whole entire episode they do not mention like
They don't say it by name.
they don't say it by name. We're not gonna say it by name either, just to honor the show. Like they don't talk about it, so it's like insinuated what it is, but they never say anything that's
Like
referring to that.
specific.
Nothing specific. It's all generalized where they just kind of like say like they're like this is the thing, this is what's happening or something, and then they kind of like then they don't do it. They don't or they just don't say it. They just kind of like you said, they just come in, they're like I'm out, so
Another
um
good one is when the Kenny Rogers Roasters fast food chain opens up across the street and it has that super bright neon red sign. And it's like when Seinfeld goes to his door and you can see it coming through the peephole, and he's like, "What is this?" And he opens the door. So him and Kramer change apartments, and he
yeah.
starts like his hair looks like Kramer's now, and he's like acting like Kramer. That was a really good one.
Oh man, Larry David is a genius, man. Have you ever watched the show
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Curb Your Enthusiasm?
No, I
Yeah.
haven't.
No. So, um, I'm gonna spoil it, man. So spoilers for everybody. Of course, he was like pretty much a sole creator, or if not creator, like he was a co-creator of Seinfeld, right?
Yeah,
Like all most of this, he wrote a lot of that. Um, he is kind of what is it? He's reapproached for it in one of the seasons and episodes. So he gets them all to do a table read episode.
yeah,
Like he literally gets every single character from Seinfeld on Curb Your Enthusiasm, and they all do like a table read. It's fantastic, man. It's really surreal, but it's awesome. It's an awesome episode for all again spoilers, man. I'm sorry to ruin it for you, but like if you want to I recommend watching Curb or at least maybe skipping a few seasons to kind of get to that and seeing all of them do a table because this is like years after this like the series ended,
yeah,
right? And so like it's him just kind of like like I guess they're gonna re-air that show or they're gonna do like a special episode or something. I can't remember the premise of the episodes, but it's like two or three episodes kind of intertwined or something. But like he comes back and like they all do a table read, right? Jerry's there, Jason Alexander, um, but what is Julia Louise Dreyfus, like
yeah.
Keith Richards? Is it Keith Richards or Michael Richards? Michael
Michael
Richards.
Richards.
So they all come back together and like they all do a table read, man. It's awesome. It's an awesome episode. Again, like I said, it's almost like it's like watching your favorite show kind of come back, and then like all the characters are within the show, but they're doing an episode without doing it. It's awesome, man. It's a cool
Yeah,
thing to see. Um, not that I don't think there's any shows that I maybe are canceled right now that I want something like that to happen, canceled or ended or whatever. But it doesn't matter any kind of show if they did that, I'd still just be like, oh shit, that's pretty cool that they did that.
yeah,
So, similar to like Fresh Prince, right? Like they're
yeah,
rebooting it, which is kind of crappy, but at the same time, like, such an iconic show. Like I get it. Like I want it to be reintroduced to people, and if that's the way it's gonna be reintroduced, like cool. But again,
yeah,
there's nothing like the classic. Like Fresh Prince was such a great show, right?
yeah.
And so yeah, but I don't know. Your opinions, man. Do you think you'd want to see that episode, or maybe see would you think it'd be pretty cool to see some of these a show that you're watching kind of bring back some characters that you thought would never kind of get back on screen?
Yeah, I mean that'd be pretty cool to see. Like, I wouldn't say a reunion, but like maybe an extra episode, like a
Hmm.
forgotten episode or something like that. Something they had the idea for, and for whatever reason they just never did it
Okay.
to like
Well,
re to like
I think you weren't a huge fan of Friends, were you, or were you a fan of
no,
Friends? Right. So like neither was I. Like I've seen a bunch of episodes, but I've never been like a huge fan. Like it's like it's been on like it was background noise, but I maybe saw like an episode or two or something like that. But like
yeah,
they recently did a reunion episode on HBO Max.
hmm.
So like
Oh yeah, they did.
would you want to see
Yeah,
something like that for a show?
yeah, I think yeah, I'd probably be into it. Just
Hmm.
I guess it depends on the show. Like I
Of
wouldn't watch the
course.
Friends ones. I'm not a big fan of Friends, so probably
Yeah.
not that one.
Hmm. Yeah, for me, and I think they did a Fresh Prince one, and I need to go back and rewatch. Or they did like a sit down at the table or something, and they kind of discussed a bunch of stuff. So I need to eventually watch that one, but that would be pretty cool. But yeah, there's some like The Sopranos. I would love for them to do like a sit down. Of course, like James
Well, that movie's
Gandolfini.
coming out
It is.
in October, isn't it? Right? The
Yeah.
Saints of is it the Many Saints of something?
Yeah, Newark or something, right?
Yeah,
So yeah, like I would love to
I'll definitely watch that.
know for sure. And but again, it's a prequel, but I would love to see like all the other characters kind of get back and do a table read or something, right? Or
Yeah,
another table read, just kind of talk about the show, or and I'm
yeah,
sure there's stuff out there that we could probably find or whatever. But I would want them to do it, afterwards, right? Like why that ending,
right.
So or one of my favorite shows is The Wire. I would love for them to
Oh
kind of come
yeah,
back and kind of do a table read for The Wire or something like. Man, it'd be fucking awesome. Like I would love to
yeah.
kind of see
The
something
Wire
like
was
that.
good.
Yeah, and again, that's another episode that we got to kind of sit down and talk about The Wire, man. Like maybe just a
Yeah,
full episode dedicated to The Wire, kind of retouch
I'm
on
about to
it.
go back and rewatch it
Oh, please,
because I
please, man.
haven't seen it in years. I don't even.
Oh man, I've at least watched it through maybe 2 or 3 times.
I'll
Like
have to
it's
go back and watch it because it's been a long time since I saw it.
rewatching, man. It's just as good. It still holds up in my opinion.
I mean, I've watched Sopranos at least 3 times, the whole series.
Yeah, that's I haven't seen it twice, but that's the goal. Like that's the next episode I'm just gonna like kind of rewatch is or the show I'm gonna rewatch is The Sopranos.
Yeah,
It's
you
just
do
so good,
Sopranos,
man.
now do The Wire.
All right,
I
there
think
there it
I
is.
think The Wire is only 4 seasons though, isn't it?
It's 5.
5.
Yeah, but nobody acknowledges the last season.
Oh yeah, I guess
it,
that's why I thought it was 4 because the last season wasn't that great.
it was so bad, man. It's just the direction of some of the characters, man. Like you're just like, what? It doesn't make sense. But whatever.
Yeah,
Like I see what they were trying to do. I like the closure. I like the closure of the episodes and kind of what happens to some of these people. But I don't. Yeah, just seeing kind of how they end up and stuff, I wasn't a huge fan of. But
yeah.
um,
But I
and
think that happens with a lot of shows that like, I mean, it's got to be hard to like think of like, so we've been doing this show for so many years, and now we got to end it.
mhm,
How do we end it where everyone's going to be satisfied? Like,
yeah,
that's a lot of pressure. Like, Game of Thrones was excellent until like the last few episodes, and then it was just like,
yeah. But did that
this.
deviate from the entire series? Like, did those last 3 episodes really ruin the series?
I wouldn't say they ruined it. It was just like a lot of it was just maybe it wasn't the content of the episode. It was just like have you seen the last episodes
Yeah.
of have you
So spoilers,
so
everybody, for people who haven't seen
it
it.
was
Again, it's
so
been out for a while, but
dark that you couldn't even see what was going on.
oh yeah,
Like that's what ruined it for me. It was like, why'd they film it so dark? Like I have the brightness all the way up on my TV, I have the lights off, and I still can't see anything.
yeah,
Like for me, that just like ruins the whole show. Like I don't know what's going on. I can't tell what's going on.
yeah,
I know it's not my TV. You guys just filmed it wrong.
yeah. I know. Again, they came out and they said that like, or some people have said that it was part of the budget, right? It cost a lot of money to brighten it up for some reason. I don't. Again, that's just what I read or what I
Like
heard, right?
turn the lights up higher in the studio.
I mean,
They have the electricity. Like they couldn't pay the electric bill the last like few months that they were filming.
possibly, man. And then like of course like on the from a CGI perspective, like it costs a lot of money, right? I
Yeah, I
guess I
heard the
never
dragons were like super expensive to.
yeah, and I guess that's why the wolves and the dragons just never appeared because they said it
But
just
I mean,
cost so much money.
they had to have had a pretty good budget for being an HBO show.
Yeah. And plus on top of it being an HBO show, like it was a prominent show, right? Like
Yeah,
there was a lot of people that kind of talked about Game of Thrones and
yeah,
everything like that. So even though I got into Game of Thrones not until like maybe season 6, like maybe season 6 or season 5 is when I finally like caught up. And I think I want to say it was season 6, right? Like I watched all the way to episode 5 or season 5. I don't know why I keep saying episodes. All the way to season 5, and then on season 5, season 6 was airing, and then I watched it
yeah.
live. So yeah, I kind of
Oh
got
yeah.
into it later. But since I had no clue what it was, people would talk about it all the time, and none of it made sense. I was like, "What the hell's a Lannister? Is that a knife?" you know, like is that a car? Like is that a horse or something? Is that what the
Right,
dragons' names are? Like I just didn't know any Dothraki. Oh, is that a language or is that a
right.
person? Like what is I had no idea. So when people talk about it, thankfully I was so green to all of it that when I finally got into the show, it started to make sense. But I did like even though they were
It
spoiling it for
wasn't
me,
ruined for you.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was. So I was lucky enough to kind of go in there and be like, all right, like this is what this is, or that's who that is, or this, whatever. And it's kind of start putting things kind of together, right? Piece things together.
And some of these series, they direction changes when like people change, like production or
Yeah.
writers or stuff like that. That's what happened with Dexter. Was like the original writers and producers of the show left before the final season. I think it was in like before the last two seasons or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's when it started going downhill. But now like this new one that's coming out in November is like the original writers, I think, and producer. So everyone's pretty excited about that. I'm not sure if the same thing happened with The Wire in the final season. If any
Yeah.
of like the original from the first four seasons left, like
I'm not too sure
the
about that.
producers or the writing crew or anything like that. And then with Game of Thrones, I think from what I heard and what I read is like they had to deviate, like they didn't have anything to go off of anymore.
Hmm.
George R. Martin like didn't have anything written for them to
Yeah.
use for material, so they had to like come up with their own.
Improvise. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was part of the why the last season was different from
Yeah.
like what people were used to, because before they had a script basically pre-written for them, or not a script but a story,
Yeah.
pre-written for them.
No, and that makes sense. It kind of goes back into like Marvel and all the characters that they have, right? And like the
Yeah,
stories they try to tell. Like there's so many different stories that you want to add all these characters, but sometimes you can't because of certain rights or whatever. I don't know. My
yeah,
point is, or what I'm trying to say is that you can't make everybody happy, because
yeah,
just because you were dedicated to a particular storyline and it comes out on film and now they can't use Spider-Man anymore, so now they have to improvise with a different character to make them more prominent, right? And so they have to change the story. So, but at the end of the
yeah,
day, like you can't make everybody happy. And I get that, man. Like you said, that's a lot of pressure to take on, to be like, you filmed 5 seasons or 6 seasons of the show that was based off a book, and then you finally get to a point where it's like, can I have more source material?
right.
And the person's like, no, but I can probably guide you. And then it just didn't go the way that
Still
he.
not going to be the same.
No. And I think it's he. I mean, he maybe bamboozled them a little bit, and he was just like, "Yeah, I'll help you write it. Let's see if the fans would like this." It came out terrible, and he's just like, "All right, cool, guys. I'm
Now
gonna
I know what to do, not to put in my book.
now I know what not to do in my books, right? Because again, he said he was gonna finish the books, right?
Yeah.
He said he was like he was going to finish
Oh,
the
even
storyline.
like South Park made fun of it when they did the Game of Thrones episode, and
Hmm.
Butters and Scott Malkinson went to see George R. R. Martin, and he was like they that joke was a running joke throughout the episode. They're like pizza's coming. When is the pizza coming? I ordered the pizza. Pizza's coming. The whole like for like 20
Yeah.
minutes, like, and pizza never shows up, and Scott Malkinson's about to die from diabetes.
I do remember that episode. I'm not gonna sing the song. Don't sing the song, but
Yo,
get
you remember that was my ringtone when we worked at
yes,
Calvin Klein?
yes, yes. Yes, I remember the song. I remember you singing it. I remember us all singing it and singing it to each other all the time, man. It was fantastic. It was fantastic. If you guys don't know the song, go look it up on South Park. And look at the Game of Thrones song. It's hilarious. It's about wieners. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, man. So I get that. I get the difficulty and stuff with some of those shows and people leaving and the direction. So, but just like you said, maybe it costs, or just kind of like I was saying, maybe it costs too much money for the CGI for them to kind of film
Yeah.
the scene a little bit brighter, right? That was
All
kind of
right.
their argument. Maybe they'll come back and remaster it and change it a little bit afterwards. But
Yeah.
at the same time, I know that they also got like, what was it? Was it Star Wars? They got I think they left to go do Star Wars. Like they are now going to film the next 3 Star Wars, or write the next 3 Star Wars, or maybe Star
Oh,
Trek or something like that. They're doing something, and I want to say it's Star Wars. I'm almost positive it's Star Wars, but I'll fact checks myself, but here in a little bit. But like no, like I think that they had commitment, or like there's like, all right, like here's, you need to pull this out, in this and stuff. They kind of rushed it, right? That's what people are
yeah.
speculating. At least they rushed through that last season so they could be done with it and then move on to the next thing, which I think it was Star Wars, right? So
Yeah. So, well, kind of related to that, I watched there's that Netflix series, The Movies That Made Us.
yes, I need to
I
watch that
watched
series.
I watched the Ghostbuster episode, and when it came time to like do the CGI, they didn't have anybody in house to do it. So they were gonna tap Industrial Light and Magic to do it, ILM.
Which
Well,
ILM is
ILM was
direct
already
this.
working with Spielberg
Yep.
on Indiana Jones, but a few of the guys in ILM wanted to leave already prior to this.
Mm-hmm.
So they took that as an opportunity to leave. So like 5 of the guys left and started their own company and did the the animation or whatever VFX
Yeah.
for Ghostbusters.
Oh, no
And they were
way.
under a time crunch. Like they had, I think they had less than a year to from from when they pitched the movie to
Hmm.
release it. I think it was less than a year. I think it was like 10 months, something like that.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
That's man. That's okay. I don't know how all that stuff works. I get stressed out at work just by little shit. If somebody said
Right.
I had 10 months to make something spectacular, right? I feel like I'm gonna get cursed out, yelled at,
And fired.
and fired. Like literally, like there's like the conditions, and I'm sure they work on the okay conditions, right? But like at the same time, like those kind of jobs are highly demanding, and you're probably
Yeah.
working like from morning until night. You're probably sleeping 4 hours a night,
Yeah.
do a line of coke, and get back to work.
Right.
So
Have
so
a Red Bull.
not the kind of Red Balls. That's what they're having. Not Red
Red
Bulls.
balls.
Red Balls. Exactly, man. They're doing cocaine in a can. That's exactly what it is. So,
That's
um,
Tyrone Biggums.
Tyrone Biggins. If you guys don't get the reference, go Dave Chappelle. And yeah. Anyway, so but no. So okay. So I did a little research. But yeah, no. I think they were pinned to do the Star Wars trilogy films, but I think they just they left and or I guess they signed a $200 million deal with Netflix. So they did leave Star Wars to go, or they did leave Game of Thrones to go do Star Wars, and they were going to do the trilogy from in 2022. But it looks like in this article right here that they left to go and they got a deal with Netflix instead. So, but either
Hmm.
way, they were supposed to do Star Wars after Game of Thrones, and I guess they decided to leave and go do something different, right? So,
Hmm.
even though
It's
that's
interesting.
another series that like say what you will about Star Wars, it's they're trying to make everybody happy and they can't make everybody happy, and it keeps kind of getting out of hand there, right? So
Yeah.
I like the movies. I think that visually they're getting better, and they're like, are the stories any better? Nah. It's up to debate there, right? But from like just visually and kind of what they're presented on screen, like they're getting as good as they can right now,
Yeah.
so not as good as they can, but as visually they're amazing, right? But I still like the one-offs like the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
That
Mandalorian was good.
it was really good, right?
And
But
then the Boba Fett one's supposed to come out this winter.
yeah, but like that Boba Fett one and all those series are just like they're really good, man. And um and then Star Wars is hard to please people, so it's interesting to see kind of like what direction they're going to go in the next three films. But you know
So there's a Star Wars thing coming up um in September 22nd, called Visions, and it's
okay.
animated anthology, and it's like manga, like Japanimation type visuals and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah, you should. I watched the trailer this morning. It looked pretty sick.
all right, man. I'm gonna write that down. Visions. I'm gonna try to watch that.
Yeah, the trailer's out right now. It looked pretty badass.
Okay. All right, man. So speaking on movies and stuff coming out, man, I recently heard that Top Gun, the sequel, Jackass 3, and Mission Impossible 7 have been pushed back. Were you excited to see any of those
Which ones
films?
again?
So it was Top Gun. So it's the sequel to Top Gun,
Yeah, I've been wanting to see that one.
Jackass 3, and Mission Impossible 7.
I didn't even know they were doing another Mission Impossible.
They
Oh
were,
yeah,
man.
that's right. I remember because Tom Cruise. There's an article where he yelled at the crew for not wearing masks when they were
Yeah. So
filming.
he yelled at
Yeah, okay, so I remember that.
he yelled at the film crew, and also like I read something where he did like 700 or 200 like motorbike jumps and like just doing all this like extreme stuff to prepare for the film so that
Hmm.
he doesn't have to like have a stunt crew do a lot of uh
But he's always done a lot of his own stuff.
his own stunts and stuff.
Yeah,
um
like maybe not the super extreme ones, but he's done a lot of his own stuff.
okay, yeah, I mean that's pretty cool. I didn't know that he did that. I thought it was always like other people doing that, but yeah, I think he jumped out of planes and he was doing like jumps or whatever. But that's so he was preparing for all that stuff. But with those movies kind of pushed back, man, and Jackass 3, I watched the trailer for
Is
that,
it
and
three?
I
I thought
I
there already was a three. I thought it was four.
Oh, maybe is it four? Did I write down the wrong number? I may have wrote down the wrong number, but yeah, the newest Jackass film. Um, let's see. I'm gonna try to look that up. But yeah, the newest Jackass film. Um, it made me kind of think, man. When have you ever done anything that was Jackass related? Or was there
Nothing like
anything ever where you like watched the movie and you're like, yes, I want to do. Okay, I guess it's Jackass Forever. You're right, Derek. My bad. It's not
so.
Jackass 3. It's Jackass Forever.
I don't think I've like watched their stuff and like been like motivated to do what they do. Like their stuff is just too extreme. I mean, I've done dumb stuff in the past.
Well, is there any dumb thing that you're just like, oh fuck it, I'm gonna try this? Like, did you jump off a house, or did you jump off an house into a pool, or ride on the top of your car, or stick your body outside the window, or something like that? You know, just anything that you could remember. You're just like, okay, one, it
I remember
hurt,
when I
and
was
you're like,
younger,
this is
I
dumb.
had a one of them radio flyer wagons, and we took
Oh
it to the top of a
no.
hill and turned the handle around and sat in it and tried to steer it down the hill, and that ended pretty badly.
Did you hit a rock? Just that one
like
single rock and go
like
flying?
the handle, it was just like too much to control, and then it just whipped off the handle got torn out of my hands, and so the wheels went to the side and the whole wagon just went up and over.
Oh man. I'm trying to think. I've done some wild stuff. I remember we tied a rope to a tree, and like people put tire swings. So
Yeah.
instead of a tire swing, it was just a rope, and I remember just me and my cousin just like, and it was a pretty tall tree, man. We're like, probably 15 feet in the air, and I'm like jumping off, hanging onto this rope, just like swinging back and forth. And I remember like the rope snapping at one point in time, but like it like thankfully like it snapped at the time where like it kind of stopped. Like it was swinging wild, and it could have ended badly,
Yeah.
but like it stopped at one point, and then somebody was about to jump off, and right before they were about to jump off, it fucking snapped and they fell. It just like nailed it pretty hard. I remember I power bombed my brother through like a piece of wood. Like we were like really into wrestling at the time. And he was like, I could do it, I can take it. And I remember like picking him up, and like I didn't slam him really hard. I just kind of gently like, okay, never mind. I fucking
Like
slammed him
dropped
hard.
them.
I dropped him. Like I didn't force him down, but I definitely like dropped him, and I remember him just going through the fucking piece of wood, and him just like like out of breath. I remember I was on a scooter, and I was on the porch, and the porch is kind of high, and I tried to like spin the wheel and jump,
Yeah.
and I missed it and racked myself. And I just remember like just just holding it on. I was on the ground for a solid hour, not wanting to move, and I just remember like my whitey tighties were too tight. It was not a pretty sight. It being purple the next day, I don't want to talk about it, but I'm fine. Um, I did that. What else did I try to do? I think there was one time I tried. Oh, I was at a party one time, and I was trying to run and jump into the pool over like some of those like fucking like lounge chairs,
Yeah.
and I ran, and it was wet on some of the concrete part. So like there was grass, but there was just a little bit of concrete part that was probably like a foot wide, and I think I put my foot there and just ate it, and like fucking hit the lawn trails, rolled over, and I landed on the lawn chair, and I stopped right. But to
Yeah.
play it off, I like rolled into the water, and everybody knew I was like I did it on purpose, right? They came out,
Right.
they were laughing, they called me Spills for like a month or for like a year, like for the rest of the school year. It was awful, man. So that was that. Another time I remember trying to we used to jump our bikes off of ramps and just kind of pedaling, man. And I remember we put like two tires on top of each other and we put a ramp on it. And I remember jumping and I landed it. And there was another time where oh, was it me or was it my friend? I think it was my friend. He was running and he jumped a bike, and when he landed it, he had his what
Handlebars.
his handlebars. Thank you. And he landed, and it was like a U shape. And when he landed, the handlebar broke, and he just had one handlebar, and he was just like cruising with it. And the rest of the summer, his parents were like, "We're not buying you another fucking bike. Like, fuck that." And so he just every time we would go somewhere like down the street to go swimming at a friend's house, he would always have his one handlebar just
What?
just
That's
riding it
awesome.
along, man. So we used to have mongoose bikes too, which I think that some of the BMXers like would use or like were sponsored by mongoose. So
Yeah.
yeah, man, I'm sure there's some other ones I can think of, just like doing crazy shit. Like I think I jumped off a truck that I was driving like at pretty high speeds and just kind of rolled into it. I remember, oh, my friend had a four wheeler and we would hang on to it and see who would hang on the longest. And they would go like as fast as they could on the forward doing donuts and shit. We're hanging on, just fucking gliding on the ground. Or we would sit on the back of the seat, or like back of the, it has like back seat, but you could sit on the tires, or
Yeah.
like because there's like
The
protection over
fenders.
the fenders, so we're like hanging on the fenders, and somebody's like trying to like swing us off, and one of my friends, like somebody turned, and one of my friends went flying off the thing, and he glided on top of the grass, like on top of water. Like it was the coolest thing, man. He was just like gliding and just like, and then he eventually like hit a pile of dirt weight shit, man. And I don't know, I could keep going on and on, man. I didn't realize how much crazy shit I did at some point in time in my life, but definitely did some crazy shit, man. So I don't know if you had some crazy shit like that too.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we had we built like a bike track around our yard with like ramps and stuff, and
Hmm.
we would race our bikes, like our BMX bikes, around my yard
Yeah.
and tore up the grass. My dad was so mad.
He's
Like
like,
on the side
goddamn
yard,
kids.
we sprayed water and everything
Yeah.
to make it like slippery or to make mud,
Oh
and
no.
it was just tore up. My dad was so mad. The side yard was just tore up.
He's like, God damn it, kids.
That there was a gravel pit like around the like right by our house, and we
Hmm.
used to all go there and like ride the the big mounds of dirt and rocks and stuff, and just like jump off the top of those and everything.
Oh, nice. Oh shit. Speaking of that, yeah, fucking. So again, last story, and I'll jump into the next topic, man. There was like a huge mound of dirt, right, that somebody kind of like created, because I guess they were like, I don't know what they were doing, but it was like a field, and they had like this large thing of dirt, right? And I remember my friend had his 4 wheeler, and I remember we jumped it, and I remember like fucking when I jumped it, like I got some kind of air, but I landed more so forward, and then landed
Yeah.
on the back tire and kind of went. But my friend was going too, and he would go really far. And I remember him just coming, and he was revving that mother effer up fast, man. And like he went, and he caught like crazy air, but it was landing too forward,
Oh
and so
no,
like he fucking jumped. Like thankfully he
he
jumped
bailed.
off, and like the 4 wheeler hit and like rolled a little bit. My friend like fucking hit the ground hard and just like kept rolling and stuff. And he was fine. Again, definitely had some bumps and bruises and stuff. The 4 wheeler definitely saw better days, and it still ran. And his dad didn't know this. And hey, Mr. T, if you can hear this, man, sorry about that. About the 4 wheeler and how it got fucked up. We didn't mean to do that, but it's fine. Anyways, but yeah, the 4 wheeler didn't make it too well, man. So it always rode a little crooked. Like when we would drive it, it was always lean to the left and stuff. But my friend, he was fine. But I just remember him being in the air, and like the way he's like, we're not doing that anymore. I was like, fuck no, let's go home, let's go home. And I remember we got back on the
Right.
4 wheeler and drove back home, man. But yeah, man, it was just, we were wild kids, man. We did some crazy shit. So
Yeah.
thankfully we survived. No broken bones, maybe some bruises here or there, man. But or we racked ourselves pretty gnarly or scraped our legs or some shit like that. But besides
Yeah.
that, man, we made it all right.
Right.
My friend, not so much. Again, some stories for some other times, but he definitely got fucked up a few times. Um, the kind of the last thing I want to talk about, D, is have you ever seen Umbrella Academy? I know the series has been out a little bit, but have you ever seen the
No, I
series?
haven't.
So, it's a pretty good, comic book series, right? I believe it's the lead singer for Chemical Romance, or is one of the band members from Chemical Romance. He created this comic book, and it's kind of about these kids that were round up by this guy, and he kind of turned them into superheroes to kind of like, it kind of has an X-Men vibe, right? So,
Yeah.
when I was watching it, it made me think, man, if you had to make a comic book, right? And let's say you had four or five characters in it that had some kind of abilities, how would you want them to have their abilities, or what are some abilities that you think you'd want them to have?
Um.
Like again, you're starting from scratch, right? Like you're building these characters, you get to tell your own story. Like what are some maybe some superpowers that you saw, you're like, man, that'd be badass to have.
I mean, I would like. I've always been a fan of like super strength is always a good one.
Oh man,
You
it's
can
one of my
always
favorites. It's
you
one of
have
my
to have someone
favorites.
with strength. Maybe speed, someone with they can
Hmm.
move really fast. Um, someone that can manipulate with their mind, different like move objects. I can't remember what you call it, but like move objects with your mind, something like
Okay.
that. Um,
Yeah, it's either telekinesis or it's I always forget the other one. Telekinesis or the other one.
yeah, or like some kind of healing ability,
Hmm.
kind of like how Wolverine can heal himself. Um, One of my favorite X Men is Gambit. So like I like his power where he can charge up the cards and fling them at people. That's really cool. So something like
Yeah.
that where you could like use everyday objects and turn it into something that is lethal.
We were robbed of Gambit, man. They gave us a snippet in fucking X-Men
That's
Origins
why
or
I've never liked any of the X Men movies. They've never had Gambit. I'm like, this is
yeah.
trash.
Yeah, the animated
Without
series had
Gambit,
him and he was awesome.
yeah,
But yeah, in the movies, they just we were hoping for the Channing Tatum one. Which again, if you guys are listening or somebody can hear us and knows somebody that knows somebody, like make that happen. Can make that
right.
happen. I was hoping to see a good Gambit or something like that. And I think he could have did it, but I think they like showed a snippet of him in that Wolverine, that first Wolverine Origins
Yep,
film or whatever.
yep.
But that was it. We never got anything else after that. So they did
I remember
Deadpool.
that.
Fucking Ryan Reynolds got to reprise himself as Deadpool, and it was a better
Yeah.
Deadpool.
Oh yeah,
Give us Gambit,
definitely.
man. Give us Gambit.
Well, remember that that old X Men arcade game, the side scroller. It was like 4 players, kind
Yep.
of like the Ninja Turtle one.
Yep.
I
I
I always played Gambit when I did that.
I played that one recently and beat the entire thing. It took like a good 30 to 45 minutes. But I'm not gonna lie. Thankfully, like, because I mentioned this in a previous episode or whatever. But like, I went to this place and it was like you got a bracelet. You paid like a certain amount, and all the games are unlimited.
Yeah,
If I would have played that X-Men game, paying it
Mad Quarters.
$100 easy. Probably $50, maybe more 50, but like I swear probably $100. I died so many times because you only get like 5 lives or something like that, right? And they go
Yeah,
quick. One of
yeah,
those monsters hits you once, half your life. Hits you
yeah,
again, done. Hit new life,
yeah.
new character, right? So, but the Gambit
Well,
character would be cool.
um, Barcade just opened in Detroit a couple weeks ago.
Oh, did you ever go to any of the barcades out in New York?
Yeah, yeah. I've
You
been
did.
to at least two of the different locations.
Those are really cool, man. I like the concept. Again, Dave and
Yeah,
Buster's, but more chill vibe or something.
yeah. Not as many kids running around.
I went to was it a barcade? I went to something similar when I went to Denver in June. And I think I kind of mentioned it before, but yeah, that one was cool. Like you had to be 21 and up.
Yeah,
Like you couldn't be a kid, or I think maybe you could be accompanied by like an adult or something. But even then, like it was no place for no kid. Like that
right,
place was it was the people getting drunk and they had some good pizza and that was it. There was no kids running around there, right? So
right.
definitely agree. But yeah, no, I'm with you, man. I would love to, if I created my own comic book characters, like in my own story or something. Um, one, I would kind of want it where they had no abilities, they were born without, but they had to go to a school and then get them.
Yeah,
Right? Or if not a school, they had to go like join a secret society or a secret group or something where
yeah,
like if you pass like certain morality tests and stuff, then they would take you and then they would make sure that you weren't evil, right? Because they don't want you to eventually abuse your power. You have to pass like certain tests. And if you did pass some of those tests, then you got to join and then they would grant you the powers either you wanted or that they would kind of find were best for you,
matched you up with the
match
best
you up
power
with,
for you.
where they were like, you know what, like because of your strong will or something, like we want to give you strength,
Yeah,
and or because your ability to always be able to be in multiple places at once within your mind or just like your body, teleportation.
yeah,
I would want them all to be vulnerable, right? Like it still get damaged somehow or still
yeah,
get hurt, but I would want one of them to be similar to a cleric is, like in Dungeons and Dragons, and be able to provide them with healing,
yeah,
or also be able to give them abilities to like enhance their protection or something like that, right?
yeah,
So like a character that can come in and be like, all right, like I'm gonna touch you guys, and now that I touch you, you guys have the ability to be invincible for the next few hours or something like that, right?
right.
So they're on a time crunch. They have to complete these things within an hour or they're dead, kind of thing.
Yeah,
So or maybe if they can't die, or if they do die, that they do get to come back to life, but they have to like go back to the school and get regranted those abilities, but also like kind of take a punishment for being not being smart for dying or something like that, right?
right.
If they couldn't get out of it or something, right? Like
Yeah,
like if it was like okay, cool, like what did you do wrong? I did this wrong. I should have approached this way. All right,
yeah,
awesome. You get regranted your ability. So I want that. Would want a magical person, but I would also want them to have some weaknesses, right? Because I think all good characters, like they can't just be invulnerable. They can't be invincible, right? That's
yeah,
why I remember again we were talking about this in a previous episode about Superman, right? Kind of the
yeah,
same concept. Like, can't somebody that's perfect? They have to have a weakness, and it can't be a rock. It can't be just like
right.
a stone or something that causes them weakness. No, it has to be something that it's either physically, emotionally, mentally, just something that like will cause them to kind of do the opposite. But I would love like some like the characters and the stories to kind of be built like that, and then the story, just progress, right? And
Yeah.
who are the evil ones? It's the ones that learned about all this stuff and then abused it, right?
Yeah.
Or similar to Dexter, right? Similar to Dexter, they use it for good, but also use it for bad.
Yeah.
But if they get found out, then they go on the run, and it's similar to like Blade Runner, where like now they have to send certain groups to stop
After them.
these people who abuse their powers for not the good kind of thing. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I thought about this way too much, and I thought it was a cool idea, right? And I was just like, oh
Yeah.
shit, like if I had to write my own comic book, how would I write it? What would I write it? And what would I write it about, right? So
Right.
I think something like that would be pretty cool to kind of see. And I'm sure there's comic books probably out there like that already, right? I'm sure there's
Yeah.
stories in Marvel or DC. Like I'm not the first one to come up with this idea, but I just thought that it would be cool because like how does somebody like just kind of create their own comic book, right? And then it get published, and then eventually get turned into a Netflix series if it's not pretty good, right? Or at least halfway
Yeah.
decent. Which
Yeah.
from watching the first season, it's a pretty good story. I haven't watched the second season yet, but the first story is pretty cool. Again, cool concepts. They kind of have um, some time travel, elements of it. So I think that's always, always kind of cool if you're able to kind of jump timelines.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of gives you an infinite possibilities. And again, similar to an episode that's coming out this weekend, which is
Episode or movie?
episode. The new Rick and Morty, man, the final
Oh
episode.
yeah, on Sunday.
Yep, the final episode comes out on Sunday, man. So be on the watch for that. But anyways, kind of talking about that, like just different timelines within that show.
Well, another Marvel movie comes out Friday.
Yes, I got my
Shang-Chi and
tickets.
the Ten Ring. Oh, you got your
I
ticket?
got my tickets for 3:30 Central Time, man. 3:30 Alamo Draft House. I'm hitting it
on
up, man. So
on Friday?
on Friday, yes sir. So
Nice.
I'll watch it. I also heard Candyman got some good reviews, so I might go check that out this
Really?
Friday as well. Yeah, they said it was pretty good, man. I've heard some really good things. They said
Huh.
that it's a continuation of the earlier Candyman films.
Oh wow.
So which yeah, I didn't even know. I had no idea,
Yeah.
but one friend told me that there was a continuation of it, and they said that it was actually really good, right? So again, of course,
Huh.
has the jump scares and stuff, but still is a really good story.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh shit, I was intrigued. That always piques my interest because people talk about horror films, being good, but it's like, are they really good? So
Yeah.
I think that like somebody did a really good, like I think it was more so suspense, but you call it a horror film, is Jordan Peele's um not it's not Us, but the previous one before that.
Um. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't
Yeah,
remember the name of it either.
yeah. Again, my mind it's been a long day, guys. That's what's happening, right? So I'm trying to see the movies. Did he do Candyman? Don't tell me the man did. Oh, Get Out. When he did
Get
Get Out.
Out. Yeah.
Get Out was a really good. Again, whether you call that a horror film or not a horror film, like I
Well,
thought that
doesn't he
was.
have what? Isn't there another one coming out? Doesn't he have another movie coming out soon?
He does. He does. I forgot what it's called. Let's see if it kind of shows it on here. Um, No, it doesn't show it on here, or at least on the. I just kind of did a quick search for him and stuff, but um, let's see. Any kind of future projects or something? Um, no, I don't know. I'm sure he does. I think he does, though. I'm like almost 100% certain that he does have something coming out here soon. Not 100% sure what it is. I guess he's doing a remake of a certain film called The People Under the Stars or it was a remake of a Wes Craven comedy horror film.
Hmm.
Um, I think he did produce Candyman, or was it in talks to produce it, or something like that. Um, but yeah, I think he does have like something kind of coming up. Oh, it's a movie called Nope.
Nope.
Yep. Nope. Oh, you know what? Yeah, he was the writer and producer for Candyman, the newest Candyman.
Huh.
He didn't direct it, but he was definitely the writer, one of the writers and producers on there, which is pretty cool. But yeah, no, it's a movie called Nope. I want to say I saw something about it recently too, so should be a good one, man.
I want to see. Um. Came over the summer that last M Night Shyamalan movie.
Oh
Old.
damn! Oh, we still haven't watched that, have we?
Yeah, I still haven't seen it.
I'm waiting for it
I
to
think
come
it's
out.
still in theaters, but I'll probably wait. It should be coming to one of the streaming services soon.
Yeah, or even if you can rent it or something like that. I rent a lot
Yeah.
of movies like that. Like I know Apple TV, or like iTunes or something. Like they'll have a movie. It'll be like full price to like buy it, but like after a month, I want to say, or like 2 or 3 weeks, and they kind of show it, and it's like reduced to like, or it's like $3.99 to rent it or something like that. So
Yeah, like Amazon too.
Amazon's another
Yeah,
one, right? So it's like you can buy it for the first month, and after the first month you can rent it and then watch it like
yeah.
that, right? So I'll eventually get
But
around to Amazon Prime, I swear.
I want to watch Shang Chi, but with everything that's going on, Petra doesn't really want to go to the movies.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to be around a bunch of people. So
Are they showing it on Disney Plus?
no, this one's not.
Oh, this one's not. So like you can't even
No,
pay
I
the
think
30
after
bucks.
45 days, then they might put it on as a premiere access where you can pay the $30 and watch it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, thankfully, I guess that like the movie theater I'm going to, not that it matters. Like one, I'm still gonna wear my mask, right? And then two, like, they separate the seats. So like I'm
Yeah,
not sitting. Like I think the movie theater, like Allen Draft, that's what they do is like they separate the seats, so it's like not everybody just sitting on top of
yeah,
each other and stuff, you know.
yeah.
So, um, maybe you guys, I don't know if you guys have like a, maybe you guys can go like bright and early, like on Labor Day or something. Maybe they
Well,
got
that's what we like. That's usually what we would do. Like before all
matinee
this,
and everything.
we would always go matinees. Like nothing after like 10, like 11, like was like the
Yeah.
latest we'd go see a movie.
Okay.
But even then, sometimes you'd get into depending on the movie, you'd get into a packed house.
No, yeah, for sure. And again, it is the premiere, right? So
Yeah,
it's a premiere weekend. So I get it, man. So if you can, if you get an opportunity, go check it out, right? I've heard some decent reviews for it too. It looks pretty awesome. So,
yeah.
but I'll definitely let you know like how it goes and stuff next week. So
Just don't spoil it
no,
because
absolutely
I
not,
still want to
man.
see it.
Yeah, don't will not, man. But I should have a pretty fun packed weekend, man. So I'll definitely have some stories to tell. So
Sweet.
I'll let you know how it is. But
What else you got going on this weekend?
Man, so I'm supposed to go kayaking
Nice.
on the lake. There's a lake that runs right through the city of Austin. They call it
Yeah,
not a lake, a river,
Travis.
a river.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I've gone tubing on that river. It's cold as hell.
it is cold, man. So yeah, there's a river that goes right through Austin. They call it Lady Bird Lake. It
yeah,
is not a lake. It's the Colorado River, but everybody calls it a lake. But Lake
yeah.
Travis is an actual lake. Lake Travis is a really nice
So I've
lake,
been on
man.
Lake Travis on a boathouse.
Hmm.
We spent a weekend on a boathouse there, and then I've also gone tubing through Austin.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I did go on this boat party one time. um on Lady Bird Lake, right, which is the river. It was like a work kind of thing or something, but
Yeah.
it was cool. We rented out the boat. They had pizza. They had like a bunch, it was like open bars. They drank as much as you want, and then we saw the bats. There's like a huge bat
Okay. Yeah.
population that's like, it's like one of the largest like urban bat populations in the world.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of bats that live under this bridge, and people kind of go up on kayaks. They go on their boats, and they kind of sit there and they watch the bats come out and stuff. So it's pretty cool to kind of watch and stuff. So that was awesome. So yeah, going kayaking, man, on that day. Obviously go see Ten Rings. Um, Probably go hiking at some point. I think there's a place called out here called Enchanted Rock that a lot of people kind of rave about. It's like an hour drive or something for me, but should be there's some good walking trails and stuff. Again, I say hiking, but it's not real hiking. It's
Yeah.
not hiking like you would in the
It's
mountains.
walking.
It's walking on flat land, but it's still
Right.
it's still some really good views and stuff, and there's a lot of people
Yeah.
out there and stuff. So and of course ride the longboard, man. So I'm gonna try to maybe actually take it to Zilker Park. Zilker Park is usually where they hold like ACL, so Austin
Yeah.
city limits and stuff. So there's a huge park out there that has like some cool like walking like sidewalks and
Pass or
stuff,
whatever.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
walking past that have like actual like concrete and stuff. So I'll probably do that or kind of ride the longboard around downtown or something, man. So should be a pretty fun weekend, man. I'm looking forward to it.
That'll be good. Yeah, I'm hoping to. It's supposed to be pretty cool weekend, like a 70s. So I'm planning on hoping getting out and doing some golfing this weekend.
Must be nice, man. We're like 100. It's 100 degrees. Like
Yeah,
literally
it's
every
supposed
day
to,
is like 100, 98 degrees. Like not the band. And like 99 degrees, man. It is like it's a hot weekend. Thankfully no rain, but it is a hot weekend.
yeah, it's supposed to be 70s. Tomorrow evening we're going to watch my nephew play football. He plays high school football.
Oh, nice, man.
I
I
think this
love
is
high
his
school
first.
football.
I think this is actually his first game. I don't know if he played last year. I think this is his first game.
Oh, do you know what position he plays? You'll find out when you show
I'll
up.
find out tomorrow. I want to say that him and his brother were talking about he's a quarterback, but I don't know.
Oh shit.
He kind of had a noodle arm when we were out in the front yard at my dad's house throwing the football around. So I hope not, unless he was just messing around. But
No, man, they're like Army and Navy. They just run the option. That's all they
right,
do. They just run. He's a running quarterback. That's all he does.
So yeah, going to watch him. Other than that, just golf. I don't know what else we're gonna do this weekend. Have to figure something out.
Yeah, I mean, even just staying in, man, I'm sure you can figure something out. Build on the Lego collection.
Yeah,
Build on the Lego collection.
I need some roads.
You need some exactly. You need some roads. I need you to pick me up. Did you buy me yet?
Oh yeah, I gotta go scoop that one up. I
Yo, go
forgot
buy
about
me.
that.
There's the Lego that looks like me. He sent me a picture of it, and I was like, yes, buy that. It is me. I now live in the Lego world in Derek's house.
Right. You can stand next to Alan.
There it is. There it is. He's gonna drug me with marshmallows. It's fine.
He's gonna roofie you.
He's gonna roofie me exactly. Well, Derek, man, it's been a pleasure, man. This has been a great episode, man. As always, do you want to give us the proper send off here?
Yeah, I want to thank everybody for stopping by. Everyone that's been listening this whole time, thanks for coming back. All our new listeners, thanks for giving us a shot. Hope you like what you heard. Hope you come back. Get some merch from our merch store. You know, cool weather's coming. Maybe not down in Texas, but up here,
It
we
is
got
hot,
we
man.
got sweatshirts and long sleeve tees with the logo. You know, pick some of that up for yourself and your loved ones. Always make good gifts. We3bros.com. Check it out. And yeah, thanks. I want to thank Joseph for being here with me again tonight.
It's always a pleasure, man. Thank you guys for listening. I got to speak out to my homie Bigfoot. Bigfoot, man, I'm looking for you. I went out for a walk the other day, and I could have swore I saw you, but it was just a brown tree. So I know you're out there, my guy. I'm gonna find you. But if you're listening, join the podcast. I'm gonna find you, man. I know you're out there. But yeah, but seriously, thank you, everybody. You guys have a safe Labor Day weekend this weekend. Hopefully, it's a good one for everybody. Spend some time with the family. Spend some time at home. Don't be out there wilding. So,
Right.
but thank you guys for listening. As always, we appreciate it. And for the people that are watching, thanks for watching.
Yeah, everyone have a good, safe holiday weekend. Last week, official weekend of the summer. So get out there and enjoy it. Have fun and stay safe. And we'll see you next week.